I'd like to introduce you to the Demolition Review for 145 Abbott Road, Concord, New Hampshire. I am Jim Spain. This is Rick Jakes, and this is Dr. Tolles. We have another member, Michael Dunn, that'll be absent this evening. He's not feeling well, so he won't be attending. We call this meeting, this public meeting, seeking some feedback. We initially had a meeting on site to review the demolition of the subject property. We met on March 8th at that property. And I'm going to read some of the notes that we had so that you're up to date and aware of this. And then we'll seek some feedback. I hope we have some neighbors here and other people that would like to speak and give us some more insight into this before a decision is made. A public meeting was conducted by the Demolition Review Board as a result of the Demolition Review application filed with the City of Concord. Our committee members' meeting began at noontime on the March 8th, and this meeting was posted, and we did not have any members of the public attend that meeting, but we did meet with the investor, who I recognize here in the audience this evening. The Demolition Review Board toured the property. We did speak at length with the investor and get some insight on-site what his plans were. The specifications were professionally presented by the investor, and the was explained in detail and discussed at length by the members of the Demolition Review Board. The application detailed the request to demolish a house while retaining the attached barn. So this meeting tonight does not include the demolition or any request in the future, as far as we're concerned at this time, to demolish the barn. So this strictly is for the house that we see outlined here. The Demolition Review Board, these are notes from our meeting again on the 8th, does find the subject property to be historically significant. It's a very old building. There's a lot of history. It's a beautiful piece of land, and it's been there for a long, long time. The original structure dates back decades and has functioned as a residential home. We documented the building with exterior and interior photographs, and we're going to place those photographs on the Heritage Commission site so that the public does have access to view the property, regardless of the outcome. When we met, we did say the Demolition Review Board at that time did not approve the demolition of this single-family house, and we did request a public meeting because we did want to get feedback from members of the community regarding their opinions so that a final decision could be reached tonight at this time. I did want to read a little bit of feedback. Certainly not a factor in our decision, but I did want to make it known. When we met at this site, it was brought to our attention that there are some concerns about the past use of the property dating back hundreds of years relating to Native American activity. The entire area from that section all the way down to Sewell's Falls certainly has been documented over the years, and there's been a lot of archaeological participation in some of the excavations and documentation going back decades. So we did speak to somebody, Ms. Labash at DHR, state of New Hampshire, and based upon the discussions we had, she has informed us, sent us a letter on March 13th, and she is going to reopen Section 106 involvement for the site. And she also stated, and I quote, "I will be recommending that this demolition and any construction on the site be monitored archaeologically at that time." So what she's telling us that if this building is in fact demolished, new buildings are going up, the project goes forward, that the state of New Hampshire DHR has reopened this file, and they have said that they will monitor anytime the excavation is completed. With that being said, I would like to take and open this up and seek some public input from the audience, neighbors, City of Concord staff, perhaps an overview of the project that we have up here. We can get some explanation from perhaps David or Matt or, yeah, okay.
For
Thank
planning.
you. Planning. We recognize Anne-Marie Skinner, planner.
Thank you. And my information specifically has to do with the EPA and DNCR. Mm-hmm. So the information that you just recited is perhaps not quite accurate. As was explained to me by Nadine Miller, and she is the Deputy State Historic Preservation Officer for the New Hampshire Division of Historical Resources. And I believe Marika is she's an employee of Nadine's.
So these are all DHR people?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And so DHR handles these Section 106 requests, but they do it under the authority of the EPA. And so for the case to be reopened or monitored, the EPA has to give that authorization. So that has been requested of the EPA, but it's not a done deal until the EPA says yay or nay. So I just wanted to let you know
I
that.
appreciate that clarification. The person that I mentioned, Ms. Labash, is she reports to this person that you?
Yes.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So the way it stands at this moment, that has not been approved until the EPA approves it. Monitoring any
Monitoring. Yeah.
dig sites.
And her sentence says, at this time, I will be advising the City of Concord to contact EPA to determine if archaeological monitoring is required as part of the EPA permit. I wanted to give you a heads up on the situation and ask that you let us know if you feel that archaeological monitoring during construction is necessary under the permit. If not, the DHR will concur with your finding. That was her email to EPA. So okay. It's in the hands of EPA.
Okay, well that is certainly different than what we were aware of. We did not know that. So the way it stands today, that if a date is set for demolition and it occurred, say, tomorrow or within days, we would not have anyone monitor the excavation at this moment. Until
at this moment, yes.
It would go unmonitored. There'd be no...
Yes.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Appreciate that. That's very important information, certainly.
Let me just add, though, that this has no bearing on the actual demo of the building. This is
right.
We had asked about it because we knew that there was a Native American burial site out in the woods, and the construction that's been done so far, the groundwork, there's no barriers for water runoff or you know, around the whole property. That was what, you know, concerned us.
Sure.
Let's say that.
And there will, when they get into the actual construction, they have to establish erosion control and barriers, silt fence.
Right.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Right. And we realized that the investors that we met were not the people that were involved in that. We do realize that. It was a prior owner or investor that created this pool of water and this large pile of sand and loam and everything. So just wanted to note that.
Yeah, we understand that. Thank you.
Yeah, we understand that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'd like to have some more people come up and speak if we could. There's no order. Certainly, we would like to get some more feedback. Is there anyone from the city that'd like to make any further comments or explanations on the project? Okay. For those of you in the audience, I think we got blocked on our view here, but the subdivision, yeah, there we go. For those of you that are not quite familiar, I'm really good with visuals. So this right here is the house that we're discussing here in front. Thank you, Rick. This is the house we're discussing. The barn, which we're very pleased to hear, would remain intact. It's in good shape. There is an L in between that barn and, yep, and that L, Dr. Toll and I went in and documented it. It is leaning and not really sturdy, so certainly would be a factor in determining the demolition. But it's a house, and when you're looking at that house, the water that we referenced pooled on the bottom below it in this picture, and there's also a large pile of loam or sand, gravel, south of the building also. And to the north of the building, which was the area that we discussed as perhaps having some exciting past history, was recently cleared of trees. I think it's right, I'm not sure how far the tree clearing went, but yeah, that's the area, I guess, right there, I believe.
Can't really, you really can't see it, but there is a creek that runs from Abbott Road into the woods. Yeah. And all the newer growth has been cut up to the pine and the taller standing trees, which is around this creek. But the runoff has been allowed to go to the creek. That was the only thing that concerned us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, you can see the condos at the top of the picture. I think that's, I don't know if it's Metallic Road? Metallic, okay. And those, yep, those are the condos that you can actually see now clearly with the trees being removed. So, excellent. Thank you for the audio-visual help there with our chats. Would love to hear from other people, whether it be a neighbor. Ma'am, were you willing to I'd love to have you come up and speak. If you could just come up and state your name. Thank you very much. And you are a neighbor? And, yes. Excellent. Appreciate that.
If you could just sign your name so we have the right spelling of it. That's great. Thank you.
And we're glad you came tonight. It's always nice to get people that are in the neighborhood and actually live there.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Certainly.
Okay.
And if you could state your name too.
Of course. So my name is Meredith Raska. I am the owner of 74 and 76 Medillac Drive. I have owned 74 and 76 Medillac Drive for the past approximately 11 years.
Are those buildings we're looking at, right?
Correct. Yep. So I'm not abutting that property. I'm not in one of those condos abutting the property directly, but I am on Medillac Drive. I am also the treasurer of the condo association.
Oh.
So with that being said, I have 2 dogs. My significant other and I walk the dogs every day past the land, so we've really seen a lot of activity. So I understand now that the current investor is not the original investor, and I would like to just share that we were very disappointed with the initial investor for pretty much clear-cutting the land, leaving things just in disarray, pretty much an eyesore, and leaving that beautiful home just sitting there, falling into disrepair. Mm-hmm. Further, the original investor did not contact us about putting a fence up between the property lines and whatnot, but hopefully we can make something work with the new investor. But I would like to say that, as with Abbott Village down on North State Street, you took a beautiful old home and required that to be essentially renovated and redone, and now it's a nice new home for somebody. Well, new, you know what I mean. And I would certainly encourage you to do the same. That area, it has a lot of charm. There's a lot of beauty there, and it would be very sad to see that home demolished. And while I understand there's 15 lots and eventually there's going to be homes there, I would hope that, I know the barn's going to move off site, but I would hope that something could be done with that home. You know, walking by that home for 11 years, seeing people live in it, it just says something about the area, and it gives it that nostalgic feel. So being a neighbor, I would love to see it stay. Further, as discussed with water issues, we've had increased issues with sump pumps, increased water in basements since this has happened. You know, there's just no trees, unfortunately, that are helping to soak up that water. And yes, we have had increased precipitation, that's understood, but this is impacting us. So I wanted to make sure that I was here today, and I understand this is a demolition meeting and not a planning board meeting or whatnot. But I just wanted to make sure that people knew that this is impacting the neighbors, and having things just sit there, it's an eyesore, and it's just so disappointing to see. So I do hope that the new investor makes some good decisions and, you know, builds some nice homes. And I guess that's what I have to say today.
Yeah, no, we really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
First of all, I want to encourage you to go to the planning board meetings and speak just like you did today.
Okay.
And also, too, you said something about the barns being moved. The barn is staying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I just wanted the barn is staying, and the idea is to renovate that and
Yeah.
turn that into a big home
Oh, that would be nice.
or a big building,
Yeah.
but restored. Because the barn is really, really nice, and then it's nicer than probably the house, but the house has also been kind of ransacked, and there's gang tags all over the walls, and
Sure.
it's, but anyways, I just wanted to set that straight.
I appreciate that. The last information I had was when I had come to the original meeting with all the public opinion.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming
Yeah.
from with that.
Right.
This is a new buyer, new plan, so
Yeah.
I just want to rest your.
In terms of, you do mention the character of the house. Certainly, it's relevant and beautiful old home, but the L is structurally probably not sound.
I've seen it.
Right,
Yes.
and then on the inside, apparently there's been a lot of break-ins there, and there's been a lot of damage done to the inside of the house over a period of years, certainly, but it's unfortunate that it has fallen into that disrepair.
Absolutely.
That's very good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
We really do
gentlemen.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Are there any other neighbors that would like to speak tonight before us here? I would invite the gentleman that we met to come forward and speak if you'd like to say anything regarding your plans. If you're willing, I don't want you to feel pressured. But
I didn't meet Eric, but he's the other guy.
oh, Eric.
This is it.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. So
we would love to, absolutely. If you could all state your names and write your names down, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Well, we had a good conversation at the site, so I
No, I appreciate
appreciate
it.
your
You guys were
attending
great.
tonight. Thank you.
So my name is Sam Katz. I'm half owner with Eric Pearson of Country Estates of Concord, which is the new company taking out the bankrupt company. So we'll be the new developers. Hopefully, everything goes through pretty quickly. I don't really know what to say about the house. I'll probably let Eric take that because I'm thinking it's not really a historically registered house, so I don't know what we're really saving because it sits on the middle of two lots.
Right. I think we use the word, actually, Sam, historically significant, not registered.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not aware of it being registered.
So your thoughts on
At
that?
least I'm not.
Yeah, like Sam said, my name is Eric Pearson. We're getting involved in this. Our goal, obviously, is to turn a bad situation around.
Sure.
Get the property, like the neighbor's saying, it's been clear cut, it looks terrible. Our goal, we've already met with the other city officials to get in as soon as the weather breaks and get the project underway, which, should have been done over a year ago. So it was kind of thrown in a monkey wrench, this whole Demolition Review Committee. At our meeting in Concord earlier in the month, So we took it upon ourselves to make the application, and here we are today. Obviously, our goal is obviously to knock the house down, keep the barn, and build the project that was approved and recorded about 2 years ago. I think it was recorded maybe a year and a half ago. So that's our goal. That's why we're here tonight, and we appreciate your input.
Thank you very much. Sir?
Mr. Chairman, members, good evening. My name is Andy Perlman. I'm an attorney in Nashua with Prunier and Perlman, and I'm here with Sam and Eric on behalf of their newly established company, Country Estates of Concord, and they're closing this coming Wednesday on acquisition of the property, working with the banks, working with the Attorney Generals. These guys have been really, working hard to bring this project back to life. The house that you can see, it straddles 2 lots. It's actually in the setback of the rear lot line. So these folks want to see it either come down or moved. Now, which I think may be a point of discussion. I grew up in a house that was built in 1750, and it was moved in South Nashua roughly about 2 miles in the late 1960s. And so it's doable. And so we would offer you, the city of Concord, the house, but we know it's not cheap to actually find a site and then pick it up and move it, right? But if it is truly desired by the city, it's yours. You can have the keys. Right? Now, I don't know. By no means am I an expert on historic recognition, but I have been involved with a couple of projects that I've been through this in Nashua, and I know that we look for the quality of the preservation. We look for original woodwork, original doorwork, and I've driven past the house. I've not been in it. You said it's kind of beat up. It's been some gang tags and whatnot. So, I'm not sure how historically significant it may be, but that's your call. But these lots themselves are very valuable, and so we're looking to have this taken down. There's no particular rush at this moment, which is good news because there's a lot of work. There's a lot of site work to do. There's a lot of prep work to do before Sam and Eric get to this particular house. But it'll be sometime this summer. Right?
I wouldn't go so far to say there's no rush. I mean, this is, other than getting the water and sewer off the road onto these lots that will be built, the second step would be demolition of the house. So yeah, I would envision that, if we were to gain approval, to be done within 45 to 60 days, I would guess.
Basically, the way we think about things and the way it is structured in the city ordinances, from the time the permit is filed, the clock starts ticking.
Sure.
I have a question. I understand about the house being in the middle of 2 lots. The barn being on the edge of that other lot line, that is an issue for setbacks or?
Well, that's one thing that came up at our meeting, and I think she'll be able to tell you a plan was submitted the other day where we're reconfiguring about 5 lots to make that barn lot configure to all zoning requirements.
Okay.
That
The lot lines are kind of being adjusted from lot 1 being the one where you were talking about water and trees, right?
Right.
Yes.
W lots. So lot 1, 2, 3, barn is on 4 and 5. All have had the lot lines recalculated,
Okay.
and that's going back before the board.
I mean, that has nothing to do with the demo of the house.
Right.
This is just something.
Right, but I mean, it will all conform.
Yes.
eventually. Yeah.
See,
But
Oh, yeah,
the dash lines are existing,
yeah,
and then they're just going to be shifting around the barn so it all fits.
very good, very good,
Thank you very much.
when I said it was kind of a surprise about this one step here, when I first got involved in this and started looking at the plans on the approved planning board plan, it does call for the barn and the house to be removed. And so, for different reasons, the barn has been decided to be kept because it's beautiful, like you said. And that's why, initially why I said I'm kind of surprised that this wasn't done already. So
Right.
here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first guy probably should have applied for the demo hearing and gotten this down a long time ago, and then maybe
Certainly.
this wouldn't be
Right.
such a weird, I mean, it's tough for the neighbors to see the whole site. I mean, I get it, we're here about the house, but
Right.
like addressing the water, yeah, we want to address that, because there's a culvert or something and some gates that need to go by
Yeah,
on the
there's
water.
sidewalk
There's some
and
stuff
some
in the
stuff.
site plan that addresses the water. We can
Okay.
always throw in some like just some bushes along the line, try to, have like a natural tree line buffer there so that it's better for the condos and whatever, and suck up some of the water. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants it to be ugly.
Okay. No, well, it's nice to hear you say that, based upon what the neighbor said.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
was
normal construction practices, like she said, is steps that are done before anything should happen, and
Right.
silt fence and water barriers and that stuff are things
Yeah.
that should be done. So we know what we're doing, we've done it for a long time, and I feel we do a very good job, and these steps will be taken before,
Okay.
in the proper order.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yes,
Just for the
sir.
benefit of the neighbors who are here, we do have a planning board hearing coming up soon.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be in April.
I'm not sure of the date.
I'm not sure of the date,
April
but
17th.
April 17th, so
Okay. That would be really good for the neighbors to,
Sure.
she's writing the date down, so that's wonderful to
Good,
bring that
good,
up.
good,
Thank
good.
you.
Yep.
And representing the association too is important. There's a lot of people out there, so it's very good to hear that, and thank you for bringing that up.
Sure.
Well, thank you for explaining that. Did you have any other input that you'd like us to go on record?
I can't think of anything else I need to add.
No, I
Thank
mean,
you.
Yeah.
I just think 2 new houses there would look a lot nicer, because all the ones are gonna be,
Yeah.
new around it, and that one's gonna kind of look odd.
Yeah.
If it was.
No, understood. I think it was a general consensus on site. We wanted a public meeting to solicit feedback from the community and any other people that have an interest, but when we did look at the property, it had fallen into quite disrepair. And Dr. Tolles has written a number of books on architecture, and he was dating some of the things, and we did document everything with photographs, certainly. It's unfortunate. It looks like the building actually, the door's broken. I guess maybe you can't even secure it anymore, or maybe it was just open, but.
Well, like Andy said, he would give you the keys, but you don't really need keys right now.
No, you don't. No, and I think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, they
probably.
did.
So we did see a lot of vandalism inside the building, which was concerning. Yeah. Yeah. When would you date the building to, Dr. Tolles?
What?
Building, when would you date the building to? What would you say? Were we talking 1890s?
Yeah,
When we looked, okay.
possibly earlier, but that seemed about right.
About right, okay.
Yes.
We did want to remark that the barn looks like we're not discussing that today, but it did look, someone did a wonderful job and put a lot of money into that, the preservation, granite work, and the foundation
Yeah,
work.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, 2005, they put.
Is that
they
when
have
it
a-
was?
They put a lot of money. It's weird, because they put more money into the barn than they did to the house.
No, it's beautiful. We commented on that, and it looks really well secured, so nobody can get in and do any damage, so that's really good. So we're really pleased that the
We
barn's-
I have a key. I forgot it that day. I wanted to get you
Right,
guys
no,
in,
we-
because inside it's beautiful.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
remilled all the posts in it, and
Oh, it's
they spent all
amazing.
kinds of money, like
Yeah.
refurbishing it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, it definitely is amazing what they did, so. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming out, and a pleasure. And thank you for coming up from Nashua.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for
Thank you.
discussing
Yeah,
this.
we appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Is there anybody else in the audience that'd like to say anything concerning the property? Okay. Well, I think we received some really good feedback from our neighbor, and it's very encouraging. I see you're handing a business card to her, and I think that's wonderful. I think that will tie you in with the association and foster a good relationship in the coming months. At this time, then, we're going to make a decision to approve or not approve the demolition of the house. Prior to doing that, we make a motion to do that, the three of us voting here tonight. I do want to say, too, that certainly we're in this position because we really appreciate old homes, and we don't like to see them torn down. But sometimes houses, beyond our control, but houses are open to the weather and to the public, and vandalism, and they fall into disrepair. They do become a hazard. It's most unfortunate, because we really don't like to see that. With that being said, I'm just going to confer with Dr. Tolles and with Rick, and we'll make a motion, and then we will render that motion and vote on it. So,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, based on the fact that we did meet on the property earlier, we had a very lengthy recorded meeting, and again, citing the fact that the building has fallen into disrepair. And we have gentlemen here, investors, people that want to improve the property. We'd like to make a motion to approve the demolition of the house at this time. So that's a motion, and
I'll second it.
second? All in favor?
Chair?
Aye.
Chair, could you please include the L, the house and the L?
Yes, certainly. We'll duly noted the L, which is in worse condition than the house, too. But we do want to stipulate that, we certainly want to make sure the barn is safe, and you guys have documented that for us tonight. And that was something that we were very concerned about. We know there's been a lot of history at the house, different investors, lots of things going on, and I know the neighbors have put up with quite a bit. And actually, I think it provides closure to have responsible people managing this project, and we feel the demolition will be done in a professional manner without concerns. And it's wonderful that you're talking to the association too, that is your new neighbor. So, are there any questions? So this is approved. Are there any questions at all or comments? Okay. Sir, all set?
Yes.
Okay. With that, we will conclude the meeting, and it's 7:32. Thank you very much. Thank you. You guys too. Thank you.